Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session, Communication Consolidated, How to Keep Conversations in Context. I'm Electra Heldy, Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Smartsheet, and I am joined today by my fabulous teammate, Diana Ye. I have been lucky enough to work with Diana here twice at Smartsheet, first on the customer success side, where I suffered a really devastating defeat against her team in an escape room team building exercise, and now again on the product marketing side of things. Thanks for joining us today, Diana.
Thanks for having me.
A quick reminder from our legal team. I'll give a brief pause here. This session may contain forward-looking statements, and any trademarks that happen to make it into our presentation are not endorsements. Our learning objectives today are to provide you with an overview of our chat tool and chat tool integrations here at Smartsheet, and provide you with some best practices for using conversations within your Smartsheet experience. We do have a Smartsheet team standing by to help answer questions that you have as we're walking through this. So please don't hesitate to add a question. So Diana, I'm so thrilled that you were able to join us. You're responsible for marketing all of the conversation-related functionality and optimizations here at Smartsheet. Talk to me a little bit about what conversations in Smartsheet are and the pain points that we try to solve with them.
Awesome. So excited to be here. So conversations in Smartsheet are a way for you to communicate in the context of your work. If you're tracking tasks or projects within Smartsheet, you can actually mention people or talk to people about that task in that same row. I remember when Electra and I used to work in customer success, one of the biggest pain points that I remember our customers having was spending countless hours digging through chats, emails, spreadsheets in order to find all the information relevant about tasks and projects. And by using conversations, you can really centralize that information and have a single source of truth.
Yeah, you and I both use conversations a ton in our day-to-day lives. Just walk us through how conversations can help you be more efficient.
Yeah, definitely. So conversations allow you and your team to manage and track critical communication about collaboration work in one single place. This functionality is all about making conversations into the context of your work. Smartsheet really wants to enable users to work where they are and where they want in order to increase velocity and visibility at the same time. So you can record conversations at the row level, sheet level, or even send notifications directly to Slack and Teams using our integrations. One really awesome thing too is you can even mention people directly in any of the rows or sheets workspaces that we mentioned, and they'll actually get an email and you can reply directly from your email to keep moving forward wherever you are, mobile, desktop, etc.
I think one of the most notable things when I first started to work at Smartsheet, I came from a position at a company where everything was done in email all the time. And it was just so impactful starting at Smartsheet. And I went from going from having like 100 emails today to like 10. That working in the context of your work is so powerful.
I totally agree.
So you and I both use conversations across the board. We use it in Smartsheet. We use the @mentions to send notifications via email. Today, we're taking a look at how we use conversations in our product launch plans, right?
Exactly. So at Smartsheet, when we're launching a new product, our product launch plan is our single source of truth where we track hundreds of tasks that need to get done to make sure that we have a successful launch. A lot of times to communicate to each other about different tasks, we'll use conversations on the road to help us stay informed with context. Each of our product launch plans are created from our product release roadmap, where we track all the tasks that our company features that our company is launching. And as you all know, with any product development, tasks may slip or maybe the scope of work might change. So we use our product launch roadmaps and our product release roadmaps as our single source of truth to make sure that we're all informed about what's going on.
And when we're talking about conversations, are you going to show us? You're going to go in and show us the real deal, Diana?
Why, of course, Electra. Let's
Do
flip
it.
it and take a look at the process.
Let's do it. So when we're talking about conversations, we're literally talking about discussing information about your task or your project in the context of Smartsheet.
Exactly. So what we're looking at right now is our product launch plan. And this is a scrubbed version, but exactly how we do it here at Smartsheet. You'll see here we have sections for the product manager. Below, there's product marketing manager tasks as well, which is where Electra and I do most of our work and keep track of our tasks. In this example, let's go ahead and why don't we do an at mention? So I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go ahead and say that the naming and approval got approved for the product that we're working on. So I'll go ahead and type this in.
And conversations at the row level always hang out here on the left-hand side. And then you also can have conversations at the sheet level or even the workspace level, right?
Yes. So you can have conversations at the row level. It actually indicates where you're adding the conversation right at the top panel here. And then at the sheet level, and if you want to see all of them at the same time, you can go ahead and click all. All right, so I'm going to mention myself so I get my own email about this, but it looks like legal approved our product name and it is called Product A.
I love Product A.
Who doesn't? All right, and it looks like in a few seconds here, I'll get an email about that update. Oop, and here it is. And you'll see that legal approved our name. And if we want to reply, we can reply directly in Smartsheet. And this will bring you directly to that row within the sheet itself if I click into it. Or I can reply directly to this email. So let's go ahead and scroll down and reply to this email. And I'll say, great. Good job pushing this forward.
I really love this piece. So much of what we do happens outside of work, right? Especially now. Everyone's working remotely. Everyone's working and, they've got their job, they've got their kids, they've got a million things going on. And having this ability to keep the conversation going and keep work moving through your mobile device is so key. Some of us, you and I feel like we both use email and Smartsheet proper a lot, core app a lot. But for some of us, our lives exist elsewhere, right? In Slack and Teams. How do conversations support folks who aren't constantly checking email or in Smartsheet?
If you're anything like me and you just mentioned that you're also constantly on these chat platforms, I am too. Helping to respond with quick pings or different projects that I'm working on is so much easier if I'm, constantly in those chat platforms already. Especially, it's very relevant now with today's work from home climate that a lot of us have an increased dependency on these chat platforms. So one really great thing about Smartsheet is that we integrate with both Slack and Teams to get information pushed directly to those channels. You're already working in those channels. You don't want to switch context. So you can go ahead and check what's going on right within those platforms. One really great thing is how to do it is we just use our automation feature to set that up. So if I go up to the upper left here and click on automation, I actually already have one created, but you'll see at the bottom, there are quick links to create both alerts to Slack as well as Microsoft Teams. If I click manage workflows and edit this workflow, you'll see I have information about what triggers that alert to go off to my team's channels. In this case, I want my team to be informed about everything. So really, anytime something changes, I want them to know about it. And then down at the bottom, again, you can choose where you want to send this to, whether it's to Microsoft Teams or whether it's to Slack. And you'll see I just chose what workspace and then what channel itself I want this to go to. At the bottom, I can give my team a little bit of a note to let them know why they're receiving this alert. But once all this is all set up, let's test this to see how it looks.
So thinking about our internal team, we have our development team using Slack. So in the context of our product launch, maybe we're just notifying them that something has gone live, right? That could be a notification.
That could be a notification. If something's maybe at risk, maybe people would want to know about that too. So there are a lot of reasons why people might want to stay informed quickly. All right, so earlier I mentioned myself to and made that change within the sheet itself. So that actually registered directly within our Slack channel, or our Teams channel, excuse me. You'll see here, same idea, some comments were added here. And here is information about what got updated, the naming and approval. This is really great. Again, this is just right in my team's environment. I don't have to switch back to Smartsheet. If my teammates wanted to tell me what was going on or had some comments or feedback, they could reply directly to this. One also really great thing is you can even embed your sheets, dashboards, etc., all within your channel itself. So you don't have to switch back and forth into Smartsheet, back into Teams. You can actually keep track of all the data right within the channel too. So this is a really great way to update information, keep track of information, and really make sure that you guys are on the same page.
Is there a way to directly push information from Slack or Teams back into Smartsheet? Or if not, is that something that we have on the roadmap?
That's a really great question, Electra. We've heard lots of customers want to talk or have that functionality. We don't have it yet, but it is on the roadmap, and hopefully it'll be out soon.
Awesome. So we talked a bit about notifications as a mechanism that you can use to push information into Slack and Teams. Are there other automations that we can use Smartsheet for? Like, can we use our approvals or send update requests to Slack and Teams at this time?
That's a really great question too. So those don't go specifically to channels, but all you have to do is download a Smartsheet bot right into your Teams environment, and you'll be able to respond to approval requests as well as update requests, all those other alerts in that.
Awesome. I feel like the conversations functionality is a bit overlooked at our organization, just in that it seems like such a obvious thing that you would be able to chat with folks in the context of your work. That's something that is much more powerful than I think people realize. Again, I mentioned before, it's the opportunity for you to up-level some of those conversations out of email and put them into the context of your work, so that when somebody is going in and needs to respond, they're already there, right? So they're hanging out in Smartsheet, they're responding, they have all of the information in front of them, instead of having this back and forth between email, okay, I need to update this row, where is this row, where is this sheet, let's get back, let's find it, let's make that change. So I think that's super valuable. What do you think some best practices are for optimizing the usage of conversations and really making it work for you?
One of the ways to make sure that you're informed, and a best practice that I would recommend to anyone, is to actually reply directly to the thread. If you reply directly to the thread, so what I mean by that is if I click into this little speech bubble icon, is click reply over here on the right, rather than start a brand new comment. That, number one, make sure that you are having the same conversation in the same thread, but also later this year, probably very soon, we are also going to allow you to be automatically subscribed to those threads, so that you don't have to mention people regularly. Once you're a part of the thread, you'll be able to stay informed about what's going on in that conversation.
So just to unpack that a little bit, presently, in order to make sure that the person is notified of the comment that you're making, you're actually typing in their email. So you're doing @ and then the direct email of the individual that you want to reach out to, and then you're adding your comment. You have to do that each time. And later this year, we're going to remove that, so that you're just being able to type in and it's automatically notifying the individual on the thread. And is it the one individual or everyone that was a part?
Anyone who has participated in that thread will get notified.
Awesome. Well, Diana, thank you so much for taking the time to walk us through this today. It was really helpful, and I hope that this has provided you all with some new ideas on how you could leverage conversations to keep your work moving wherever you are. I do want to take a moment and call out some additional resources that we have available for you. First, we have our Learning Center about conversations. If you aren't super familiar with conversations and you want to take a step back and learn more about conversations, how they work, and how you can use them in the context of your work, do check this out. This is our free learning resource. Our community, I'm calling out our dynamic work section here. Everyone is working very differently today than maybe they have in the past. And this is an area of our community where we are gathering information from folks. We're interested in how you're using Smartsheet, how Smartsheet could work harder for you, and how we can help you be successful. So definitely check that out. Finally, if you would like to try collaboration out yourself, we do have our activity-based learning sessions available for you, our Engage Brain Boost about collaboration, and you can check it out at your leisure. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll talk to you next time.